What's up, guys? It's Benny. Dick Cheney is dead at the age of 84. Vice president, best known for being the king of the neocons, nightmarish and disastrous wars in Iraq and Afghanistan, sort of plague his legacy for guys like me, and obviously being the iconoclast of the thing that President Trump destroyed, proving once again that there are no true friends in politics. There's no actual loyalties, as Dick Cheney spent the last years of his life, in the last moments of his life, not with his grandkids or with his family or reminiscing, but campaigning for Kamala Harris. Could you imagine something so humiliating? Try not to speak ill of the dead, and so I'm not going to do that, meaning this is not going to be like some Dick Cheney hate video, but it is going to be something that is like a bit of a warning sign that you should stand for something. You should believe something. And you should understand that the American people will abandon you if you are shown to be a massive fraud. It was extremely neck snapping to watch clips like this in the last days of Dick Cheney's life, where his daughter just freaking let the man rest.
Dick Cheney, your father, a beloved figure among Democrats for many, many years. Do you, if you know who he will be supporting or who he'll be voting for, do you care to share with us who he might be voting for?
Dick Cheney will be voting for Kamala Harris.
Like, this is exactly what President Trump ran against. This is the uni-party. This is the false choice that Americans were given for the better part of, I guess, since World War II, actually, since the end of World War II. Americans were given a false choice. It was the same party, the same people, the same leadership. It was always the same. The results were going to be the same. The wars were going to be the same. The spending was going to be the same. The policies were going to be the same. Marginal tax rates would go one direction or the other. Nothing ever changed. It was a ruling class. It was fake. It wasn't real. When an actual populace rised up, here's what Dick Cheney did to the leader of his own party.
246-year history. There has never been an individual who is a greater threat to our republic than Donald Trump. He tried to steal the last election using lies and violence to keep himself in power after the voters had rejected him. He is a coward. A real man wouldn't lie to his supporters. He lost his election, and he lost big. I know it, he knows it, and deep down, I think most Republicans know it. Lynn and I are so proud of Liz for standing up for the truth, doing what's right, honoring her oath to the Constitution, when so many in our party are too scared to do so.
So, listen, it's really weird how he says, you know, most Republicans know it, right? Like, what do you mean most Republicans know? What, like, why are you talking like you're not a Republican? Because you're not, actually. And well, you know, the real moment of epiphany, I think, on a political spectrum is realizing that Michelle Obama and George W. Bush are part of the same party, right? And they're all the same people. They're all facsimiles of the same worldview that says unlimited, infinite criminal alien immigration into our land, the end of the American Republic as we know it, the passing over of globalist control of our nation to China, and a reduced America to pretty much like a globalist welfare state. Like, we're all just tax cattle. And this is the way that these people think. And this is why they're so transactional and stuff like this. Like, Kamala Harris bragged about Dick Cheney's endorsement, in spite of the fact that Dick Cheney is somebody who is so loathed and so hated and so despised by the left. Yeah, it is bewildering to see, and it is a mask-off moment.
Actually have the endorsement of former Vice President Dick Cheney.
Dick Cheney and Satan. That's next.
The Sith Lord is back.
Like a demon, it rises again.
Dick Cheney, Darth Vader, Satan.
Thank you to Satan for giving me inspiration on how to play this role.
We don't need Dick Cheney.
Dick Cheney was dangerous. That war.
The only thing you got to do is just be better than Dick Cheney.
I like that. Okay, so like the point is that, like, you know, Democrats were forced to try and swallow this pill. Even it was like too much for Democrats. Listen to Kamala. Listen to her right here. Listen to Kamala here, what she has to say about the Cheney.
Endorsement of former Vice President Dick Cheney.
You're part of the Dick Cheney cult.
Listen, it's so obviously transactional. It's what Americans in the Democrat Party and the Republican Party first, Democrat Party is just catching up, are realizing is that they're not given real leaders. Their leadership is fake. It's all been installed. It's not something that comes from the people. The power isn't from the people. It is from kleptocrats, oligarchs, billionaires, barons. President Trump, whatever you think about him, won his elections, won the popular vote, won all 7 swing states, won 90% of American counties. Dick Cheney never did that. But yet it's Dick Cheney attacking Donald Trump as lying to his supporters and having no support, no real base. Cheney, who served 2 terms as vice president, including during September 11th terror test, and then died overnight due to complications of pneumonia and cardiac vascular disease. He's had heart problems for a very long time. His beloved wife and his daughters, Liz and Mary, and their family members with him when he passed. Okay, well, there you go. Dick Cheney was the defense secretary under George H.W. Bush. Goodness gracious. Cheney was troubled much of his life by heart problems, suffering the first of 5 heart attacks at the age of 37. Goodness gracious. That's really young to have a heart attack. Anyway, he had a heart transplant in 2012. That's a huge operation. Anyway, like this is the vision, the vestige. This is the Republican version of Barack Obama. It's the same thing. This is just Republican Bill Clinton and Al Gore. They're the same people. They have the same policies. They did the exact same thing. There's no difference between them at all. And so President Trump actually showed the difference, showed what it looks like to have a president of the people, by the people, for the people. And that's why they hate him so much. He exposed the entire rotted facade. So anyway, Dick Cheney dead. A hard-charging conservative. Really? Really? I don't think so. So name one conservative thing that he did. What thing did Dick Cheney conserve? Again, I'm not going to try and sit here and rag on the guy the whole time. But what I want to do is you simply use it as an example, right, of the world that was destroyed in the world that thankfully is being built right now. And like it or not, whether you like it or not, Democrats are getting what they want in AOC and Zorhan Mandami, right? This is what they want. They want communism. They want socialism. Anyway, Joe Biden ragging on Dick Cheney, saying he's the most dangerous vice president in American history. Dick Cheney will meet his maker and have lots of explaining to do. I wish his family, well, all things considered, I won't ever shed a tear for a war criminal. Dick Cheney was 100 years old, sold his country out to enrich himself and his friends. Republicans don't need to set aside politics to honor the lives of boomers who destroyed the country every time one dies. No eulogy needed on this one. There you go. Dick Cheney died. Man who killed over 1 million innocent civilians to see his Halliburton stock go up. This is how he's being remembered. Dick Cheney, the butcher of Iraq, who advised presidents from Richard Nixon to George W. Bush, key architect of the war on terror. He lied about weapons of mass destruction and the reason why so many American soldiers died or were maimed. Yeah. A bad legacy. Never forget the story of Dick Cheney, the man who introduced neocon ideology to the world, was hated by the media, villainized until he came out against Trump. Then he became a hero of the left-wing media. Horrific episode in American politics. Yeah. Yeah. So some other people saying like nice things and whatever. Dick Cheney's passive will not shed a tear for a warmonger or profited off the deaths of American sons and daughters, but I will say that I hope that he found forgiveness and grace in Jesus Christ, and I think that's about all you need to say as a Christian. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, that's it. That's the breaking news. See you. See you soon. Don't be a dick. You know what I mean?